To pass this path, one of them must fall. There is no other way. High in the mountains, where rocky slopes narrowed into a single pass, silence ruled. The wind carried dust across the stone, and only rare birds disturbed the stillness. This passage was the only route through the mountains. Whoever controlled it decided who would live and who would die. At the very entrance to the pass stood a samurai. He was alone. His armor bore the marks of time, yet his stance remained firm and unmoving, as if he were part of the rock itself. His hand rested on the hilt of his katana, his gaze calm. He had received an order from his commander. No one was to pass through this route. No merchants, no warriors, no messengers. For centuries, samurai had lived by the code of Bushido, and keeping one's word and obeying a commander's order meant everything to them. From afar came the sound of footsteps. A group of people approached along the narrow stone path. At the front walked a knight in heavy armor, followed by several travelers. They pushed a small cart. On it lay a man. His face was pale, his breathing shallow, the cloth beneath him soaked with blood. The samurai noticed them long before they drew close. He stepped forward and shouted, his voice echoing off the cliffs. "Stop. You may go no further." The group halted. The knight stepped forward and raised his visor. His gaze rested on the samurai, then shifted to the narrow passage behind him. "We must pass," he said. "This man is dying. If we do not cross the pass now, he will not survive the night." The samurai looked at the cart. He saw the blood. He saw the wounded man's chest rise with effort. He understood everything at once, but his face remained calm. "Turn back," he replied. "I have orders to let no one through." For a moment, silence hung between them. The wind grew stronger. The knight clenched his fist. "You understand he will die?" the knight asked. The samurai exhaled slowly. "I understand," he said, "but the order comes first." They looked at one another for a long time. In that moment, both knew there was no other choice. Without a fight, this path could not be taken. The samurai slowly drew his katana. The knight lowered his visor and tightened his grip on his sword. The first strike cut through the air. Steel met steel. The samurai moved quickly, almost weightless, every step precise. He struck where there was no armor, searched for weak points, kept his distance. The knight fought differently, with heavy, powerful blows, trusting his armor and strength. Sparks flew. The stone beneath their feet trembled. The samurai was faster. The knight swung his sword. At the last moment, the samurai dodged and struck the knight's knee where the metal plates joined. The first blood was spilled. The knight leapt back several steps. His leg was wounded and beginning to go numb. Strike. Retreat. Strike again. The knight raised his sword once more. The samurai seized the moment and aimed for the vulnerable space beneath the knight's arm. He went all in. He slipped under the blow and delivered what should have been the final strike. But the knight was faster than he seemed. After swinging with his right arm, the knight struck back in the opposite direction, smashing his elbow into the samurai's face. An elbow strike. The katana lost its trajectory. The blow struck the armor. The crunch of metal. The katana shattered. The samurai fell and did not have time to open his eyes before the sword was already pressed to his throat. The knight stopped, his sword lowered. The samurai was alive, but the fight was over. The knight looked at him, then turned to his companions. "Let's go," he said. The cart rolled forward. The people passed through the mountain pass and disappeared among the rocks. The samurai remained seated at the entrance. He was alive. But for a warrior, defeat was equal to death. One chose duty. The other chose life. And now the question remains with you. Who was right? The samurai who did not break his order, or the knight who broke the rules to save a human life? Who do you think would win? Let me know in the comments. Also, what battle would you like to see next?